your definition of a friend is someone who will die for you. You don't have any friends. You may think there are things that these people are simply incapable of. They are not.
You won't see it coming.
The Counselor.
Have you been bad?
Well, I'm certainly happy to see Ridley Scott working with Michael Fassbender again. Their pairing was my favorite thing about Prometheus. And as I've said, I believe before, you might have heard me say this, I would have gladly watched an entire movie about Michael Fassbender's character just during the time they were traveling and everybody else was asleep and his robot character was walking around, David. I thought that was fantastic, and my favorite shot of the whole movie is when he had his hair dye in and he was sitting watching Lawrence of Arabia. I just thought that was so perfect. So, and you might see, I'm talking a lot about another movie because I feel that so far there isn't a lot to talk about here. I saw some comments from people on this trailer that they were like, finally, a trailer that doesn't tell the entire movie. And granted, that is refreshing, but I think this goes too far in the opposite direction. This is too much of a teaser where I think it almost kind of makes you, lose a little interest in it. I think an important rule for that people should know, something that I was taught when I was in school, was that you should always hit people with your best stuff first. I think there is a frame of thought that says, oh, hey, let's hold it off and surprise everyone at the end with the best stuff, and it'll be a slow build. But the problem is that if you don't get people right away, they don't stick around for the big surprise or the reveal. So I'm not saying you should totally just give away everything at the beginning, but you really need to hit somebody with something excellent up front to hook them and reel them in. I guess you could say what the one thing that maybe does hook people here is the casting. I mean, this is an amazing cast. Not only is Michael Fassbender in it, but Brad Pitt. I'm a huge Brad Pitt fan. And interestingly, I wasn't a big Brad Pitt fan early on in his career when he was just kind of like, the heartthrob. But interestingly, Brad Pitt wasn't happy with that part of his career either. And that's why he took to producing his own films. And I really like what he did with World War Z, as you know, if you watched my review of that film. But, one of my favorite roles of his is also when he was, in True Romance. His cameo is the guy, getting high with the honeypot on the sofa. I mean, I think he excels in those kind of roles. And I like seeing him here in what I think is kind of like a fixer kind of role. I think he's going to do a really good job. And so, will I see this movie? Of course I'm going to see this movie. It's a Ridley Scott movie starring Brad Pitt, Michael Fassbender, Penelope Cruz, and Javier Bardem, and Cameron Diaz. So who's not going to see that? But at least who's a movie fan. And I think what the studio needs to be worried about is the mainstream moviegoer who doesn't have to see everything in the theater. Did they lose them already? So, but anyway, nice to see Ridley Scott kind of doing like a regular film that's not like in space or anything. But that's my thoughts. Not a lot to say about this because they haven't given us a lot. So write your own thoughts down below about The Counselor. Do you feel it's too much of a tease, or do you agree with others that this is refreshing? And thanks for coming to be on the trailer for the latest trailers and these quick snapshot reviews. Thanks for watching. Bye.